Hi guys, it's almost the 1st of June, and when energy and time allows, I'll do on the 1st of every month a new ArcoLinux installation and then run the arcolinux-nemesis scripts, plus a new ArcoNet installation and see if still the ISO is still working, and also an arcolinux-nemesis script, because ISOs are never the way you want it. You have to write scripts, you have to do some things in order for it to be perfect the way you want it, right? So we start with the template, and these days, maybe important to tell you, these days, which is 31st of May, I switched from VBox VM SVGA to VBox SVGA, again back to that one. So things may change, kernels update, drivers, the app itself, right? So now I'm back on VBox SVGA. So experiment if you get stuck with basically the sandbox tools, right? They're not really operating systems, they're in a sort of a sandbox that they work. So most of the time I'll use Net, but Pro and Plasma is just the same, right? So Net, because of the fact that it has already XFCE, and I'll go to one of those projects. We see there's lots of choices. Use any Linux distribution out there and run the ArcoLinux Nemesis scripts. So my promise to myself is I'll try to install each and single time every 1st of the month one of these guys, and often this guy, because of the fact that it provides everything I need. That is XFCE, offline. Anything that's online can break because of your internet, your firewalls, but also about key servers are down, or the keys that are corrupt, or packages that are corrupt, or servers that are down or corrupt. And I mean, right, there are so many things that can go wrong if you go online on any distribution out there, because that's the point, right? Take the risk to go online. So for me, it's going to be always a KISS thing. Keep it simple and stupid. Default installations, ext4, XFCE, system deboot, that's my choice. That's stable. Grub could be good as well, right? But we've seen the last 10 years only two issues, right, with Grub. So I'm gonna go for the next few years with system deboot and see if that causes issues. So we're booting up with the ArcoLinux Welcome app, offline, right, not that one, offline. System deboot recommended, sure. Those are my choices. You can do other choices. Maybe you get a beautiful installation, or you get stuck, right? Then you go back to what I do here, because removing XFCE is so super easy in Arch. So why not use this, and then maybe later on go for, I don't know, anything you want. Xmonad, for example. ext4, no swap, choose, right? Next. All kind of choices you have to make. I think that was not correct. That is correct. Voila. So that's the first bit, right? Choose your ISO. There are lots of Linux distributions out there. There's lots of things to learn. And yes, learning to maintain an operating system will teach you always something, right, that you may be useful for your future career, if you want to go that way, right? Linux, Qt, Python knowledge. I mean, there are so many things you can learn, and then eventually use it as an asset on your CV, on your application, that you say, look, I know this, I know that, and it helps, right? It helps. It has a topic, you have a topic to discuss about, for sure. So let's wait for the installation to finish. All right. This is for me the folder, the projects folder. Archbang, videos about it. Archcraft, no video about it, did not work well. ArcoLinux, yes, every month, right? Every month, but I built also my own ISOs. This one is built by me, 23. It's all in the ArcoLinux-nemesis scripts. Why wait? Create ArcoLinux ISO, just run it, done. You get this. And if the latest kernels, right? This is the end of April 23rd. And of course you have to, if you wait, you have the one from May the 1st, always the first, 4, 2, 1, 1, 1, and all the rest I've deleted. All right. So you choose the ISO that you like. Have a look at the, well, a small amount of distros. The longer view is the one that you can read on this one. That's a longer list, so you can change any of these guys. These are all ISOs to choose from, and also the non-arch guys. You just do a simple installation and then you run scripts, your scripts. These scripts are great for my hardware. These are also my choices, right? So you need to change them, fork them, and so many people have already forked it. But you don't need to press this button. You can download and git clone and then push it to your own. But simple click on the button, and of course you are signed in to your account on GitHub, and you get a copy. And then you need to change all kind of things. Sometimes I will remove things in here that you say, oh, can't remove that. All right, it's my driver. Don't remove that. So basically, figure out what you need, right? Figure out what you need, and then add it to the list, or say, okay, I want to keep this thing. So that's up to you, for sure. I'm figuring out how do I personalize these scripts from ArcoLinux repo, basically. All right, let's pause. All right, let's continue our story. So on ArcoLinux, we gave you the opportunity to launch with either the Zen kernel or the Arch kernel. Does it matter? Only if you have issues with hardware, right? So the Zen kernel might support different things than the Arch. Why these two differences? Yeah, because of the fact that they've made different choices in the kernel. There are like 50,000 lines when you build a kernel, and there's a lot of choices that people make, and that gives us a different layer, a different application that recognizes different things on your main motherboard or mainboard, right? That's why things work better with a kernel of your choice. And if you have fast fetch or neo fetch, you can quickly see that. Let's first do an update. Okay, so this ISO will still contain the ArcoLinux repos, and this number will become increasingly bigger and bigger and bigger. And when we are 2026, it will contain 6 months of updates or even more, right? So yeah, this will increase over time, and there will be issues over time, and that's a learning opportunity, basically. So this needs to go, can stay, but it can go as well, in the sense that it won't be updated anymore. And the packages that I care about, of course, personal choice, ArcoLinux-nemesis, me, personal, Erik, says I'd like to have XFCE, I like to have this, right? I still like to have my bash, ZSH, fish, and so many other things, and they've moved to my personal repo, Nemesis repo, ArcoLinux-nemesis scripts with the Nemesis repo, plus Chaotic AOR, which gives me 4,000 or 5,000, I don't know anymore, right? Lots of packages I can just download there. So let's click on the button and say, go ahead, install, see what issues we get. At some point in time, we'll definitely need to install the Arch Linux keyring, or we just type fix key, which is one of our things that moved to this one, right? That moved to also ArcoLinux-nemesis. It's still there in my environment that I have on Arch. Checking keys and keyring. Let's see if he is going to continue the story. No conflicts or something like that. And off it goes, I guess, right? Once you see this happening, 1 of 3, 2 of 3, this takes a bit longer. Why? We have 2 kernels and we have 2 drivers that need to be built. And if you have VirtualBox, it needs also to be built. If you have NVIDIA, it needs also to be built, unless there are always unlesses, exceptions. Anyway, we're good to go, right? You see, this is the ArcoNet from more or less mid-April or something like that, when we made the decision, okay, it's time to slow down, right? But teaching can continue, that's okay. That's just when I have the time, when I have the energy. So Saturday, April the 12th, we've said, okay, let's build the very last ArcoNet ISO. And then we update the system here. So 1.5 months of updates. That's all it is. So it's still quite recent if you compare it to the distros that give you an ISO each 6 months, right? Then this is nothing. 1.5. Let's see the sound here. All right. So that's the ISO that we're using. It's still very much ArcoLinux. When we update our packages, it becomes more and more right ArcoLinux, and we change Pacman, we change the mirror list, and then we have something that's good to go for the coming years, right? That's the goal, that's the question I've put myself. Can we keep updating? So every month we'll do an installation like this, see if there are issues, and then ArcoLinux as well, which is just 1 day away from us. It's now May 31st, so tomorrow we'll get the ArcoLinux ISO, and tomorrow I'll make a video about do the ArcoLinux installation like we did on arcolinux.com, phase 7 I think, right? Let's do Arch, pure Arch by the way, and then take control because Arch doesn't look good in the sense that we still need a lot of icons and themes and all that. So that's what we see and do, and maybe learn from it, as there will be issues at some point in time, I suppose, right? We'll see. So choose the kernel. This is the normal kernel, and me personally, so choices, ArcoLinux-nemesis removes Zen, LTS, Xenmod, anything, right? And sticks to the normal default Linux kernel as I have in the last 10 years without any issues on my hardware, right? There's something called get nemesis on ArcoLinux. Let's first do an update so you see what's happened already. So chaotic AOR is there, ArcoLinux repo is there, repo third party is there. We need to, well, we can get rid of this since everything moved from ArcoLinux repo to Nemesis repo. What I do is with this, after this installation, I take control. Any operating system, right, is not perfect, and you need to make it perfect, or you keep typing your commands every single time, or you start to make scripts. Learn about scripting. Yes, please. So it's gonna install Pacman. The mirror list is gonna be changed. This is my mirror list in Belgium. I go to Sweden as a default, or well, it's in there, right? But also other things, right? And pacman.conf is changed, the mirror list is changed, and off it goes. I tell it what they need to do. It's just a few commands. You can do this too, I'm sure of it. So see what's in here with Sublime text or something else. But remember also, you can drop in super D, Sublime, right? Super D is the menu up there. Drop in this thing and start reading. So make it a little bit bigger, or super F. No, that's not gonna work. I'm so used to these key bindings on chadwm. So this button, and you read, you drop it into AI and say, explain me what this is, right? But here we're gonna take control over MX Linux and Bunsen Lab and all the others, Linux Mint Ubuntu, and I want to have chadwm. Each single time I want to have chadwm on those guys. I'm not interested in their desktop, whatever it is. I want to have chadwm, right? So on it goes, installing Mirror Osbeck. Today I've put this one at the top. This seems to be the best one. So you can rerun arcolinux-nemesis scripts after running it, right? And say, run everything again, and then make a decision, a choice to remove something or to install something. And like this, in this case, it's the N mirror list. It's all here, right? ArcoLinux kind of lives on in my own little world on Github, on github.com, Erik Dubois. So basically that's what we did, right? We say best Arch Linux servers worldwide from arcolinux-nemesis. You see, Mirror Osbeck is the first, then Rackspace, then that one, then that one, that one. Just moved it a little bit around, and it feels faster today, right? Maybe not tomorrow. We remove all kind of things. Linux kernel, we're gonna get rid of all the other kernels. If you don't want that, intervene, right? Remove software. I say, okay, why is he removing things? Because of choices. We're gonna save the bash RC that's there, wherever we are, EndeavourOS, Garuda, wherever we are. We're gonna make a backup. And stuff like that, right? Just give it a different name, Nemesis, so we know Nemesis touched that file, and this is gonna be moved, not copied, but moved, so it's gone, right? If you do a scal again later on, it's really only the bash RC Nemesis that's there, not the bash RC. So this is not used, to be fair. This is so clear. This is not used. It's a backup of whatever OS we are at that point in time. And on it goes, removing all kind of things, and then later reinstalling it. So I want neofetch git, fastfetch git, yay git, baruch git, picam git, and alex appearance gtk3, I think, right? Anything that other users, other operating systems have installed, their choices need to go. Later on, my choices come in, right? Same here. Anything that ArcoLinux provided, this is changed into edu shells. So all the packages later on, Nemesis software, is all the edu stuff. Edu for a nice theme, ArcoLinux logout, ArcoLinux tweak tool is continued. These two apps will be continued and developed, maintained, right? But slowly, right? When I have the time, when I have the energy. There we go. Stuff, choices. And it keeps on going over all this scripts, and then goes finally into something really personal, choices like Thunar for once, these things, right? Why should I make them each single time, say this is important for me and drag it here? No, it's a file somewhere, right? So put this file back, so I have always the exact same structure or bookmarks there without the hassle, right? Copy, paste. Tell the machine what it needs to do. That's scripting. We're printing here, cups. That's the latest, newest thing that I've added. Ananicy. Have a look at that. Let's see if we have Firefox here. I suppose I'm probably saying it totally wrong, right? I have ArcoLinux, that's one thing. I was a bit too quick. Let's see, something like that. What was it? Anna. And then nice something like this, right? and read what this is. This is coming from CacheOS. They use it, so why not? Let's play around with it and see if it feels faster. Can't really say that it does, but an auto-nice daemon with crowdsourced rule set, and we hope our computer only gets faster, right? That it makes the right decisions, the right choices to run something, to give it a priority. We do all this, right? The only thing is we don't do the mink thing. What we do is the CacheOS. There is the CacheOS. Probably more than that, and something like that, right? And then you take a look what is possible. So AOR, but it's on the Celtic AOR, fine. So we use this one. The rules are here, CacheOS rules. That's the one we're using, right? But there's others like the Mink, support command line, more frequently updated rules, and so on, right? And here's more stuff, and that's something to dive into, right? Maybe a tip. Maybe I should put it in the video link. That's something you might want to have a look at and look it up. CacheOS and ananicy, is that how we should pronounce it? I don't know, right? Anyway, might do your system good, right? It's gonna be applied. That's the line that says systemctl enable. Opera is installed and we're probably already finished. Let's go to space. Space is the end of the script, and it knows where it is. It's not on Carly, it's not on EOS and EndeavourOS. It's not on Garuda, it's not on Sierra, and so on and so on. So it skips it. But for any ArcoLinux system, we're going to change the nano RC settings, this NS switch to go to different computers, environment to have a nice look, cursors all set, FS trim timer for the SSD. If you don't have an SSD, get rid of this thing, right? gpg.conf for keys to get the keys in. The Ubuntu server mainly has all the keys for Linux. And then we reboot. And basically the system is for me finished, right? After running an arcolinux-nemesis script, it should just be perfect. My kind of perfect. And that's the thing, guys, right? You see, there's just one Linux kernel, just Arch. That's all I need. That's all I want. It fails. Fine, it fails. You put in the ArcoLinux USB, you go to learn about Arch shrouding, and you shroud into the system, install the right servers or drivers, and done. You don't need all the rest. When testing this on VirtualBox, remember that content is not kind of working. It's working and not kind of working. So kill it. Ctrl-Alt-O. And immediately you see the bar at the top being filled in. So it's holding back that info. Ctrl-Alt-T. This is a black thing. PyChem Ctrl-Alt-O can be relaunched. There are a few things out here to test. The little script that I've added prior to after the shutdown of ArcoLinux, right? So things always keep changing because I have what ifs, but it goes to the github.com Erik Dubois, nowhere else, right? No longer on ArcoLinux. So still the same ISO, of course. You see I can't type unless Ctrl-Alt-O, I kill it, and there it is. Still the same ISO very much. XD will tell you that we have this, and XDW is Wayland, will tell you that we have also a Wayland version. It's not working, or it's up to them to make it work. Not into Wayland for sure. Still waiting. Plasma is okay, and GNOME is okay, but all the others let them take it's the time to make it work for us simple users. I'm happy the way everything is now, right? I have all my tools, everything is set, so icons, wallpapers, everything is set. Coloring system, PAMAC AOR is there, right? There is so many things that are just great, but also the color. This is not the arc color, this is the dawn color, My thunar is looking great. Control H, there we are. Right mouse click, everything is there. Git find, git ahead, git fish, compare. It's just the way I like it. Again, ArcoLinux-nemesis is the way I like it, with my drivers, my hardware, everything that I require on my systems is just set right. It's up to you to keep track of what I'm doing here, but then you make your own project, right? You give it whatever your name you want to give it, right? And then you compare these two. What did Erik do? What do I have? And then compare between these two projects. Basically, first copy paste. That's my advice. Control A, Control C. Make a copy paste of my code, and then later on you make decisions. I say, Erik is doing good work, but, right? It's always like that. It's okay. And then you hear already in the air, but. So if you don't want to run number 100 to remove stuff, or you don't want to install Nemesis software, this is the place to do it. If it's a whole file you don't want, then you put a hashtag in front of it, right? You say, no, don't want this. This is bloat software, right? There's so much software. 120 is very long and contains all the software I want. Okay, stop. So later on, we're a year later, you go to ArcoLinux-nemesis, you type in open terminal, you type in git pull, new code comes in, new changes I've made, and then you compare it with your project, your copy paste from me a year ago, but you've changed already so many things, and you go compare and you see file filters, same, don't want to see the same, you want to see what's different. You've made different choices. In here you said, I don't want this, I don't want that. And later on you decide, I don't want this, right? 180, the ananicy or something. Now I say it different again, whatever it is. That thing is now hashtagged out. Control S, it's saved. You push it to your own GitHub and off you go, making it better and better and better. Every single time you do a new installation somewhere on VirtualBox, on Real Metal, right? You do a new choices. Basically, that's all it is, a list of lots of choices organized into files. And then you can say complete file gone, or you can say no, I'm not gonna remove the complete file, but I'm gonna do something different. 100 remove, for example, Bluetooth, for example, right? Bluetooth is still being run here, 160. So you go in here and you can decide in here as well that I don't want Bluetooth. Well, if you don't want Bluetooth, you better put it in the 0 current choices. But if you don't want one bit of one code or one change, and you do this hashtag in front of it, or you don't want the auto enable equals false to true, right? It's just a hashtag. So keep the lines in there, but just hashtag them out. That's basically what I'm trying to say. The same here, but of course you need to hashtag out a little bit more. If you say don't want this, then it's 3 lines. That's it. And it makes it easy if you save everything and you close everything and you close this and you refresh everything, right? Then you have made a decision. In the install Bluetooth, you've changed this. And you can keep track of the changes I make, you make, and compare, meld it, and take control. Have fun with Linux. Cheers.